Hello. All right, so fourth grade, we are going to be making coil bowls, ice cream bowls. And so first things first, you're going to get a styrofoam bowl, and you are going to be putting your name on it. So this one has Hunter's on it. It might have somebody else's name on it. Just remember it's yours, because you are going to be putting your name on there with a Sharpie marker, because that works the best. So if you have somebody else's name, just trace, scratch it out, put your name on there. So that way we know it is yours. And don't forget your teacher code. So if you have 4P or 4S or 4K, that's what you're going to put on there. All right. Then first things first, you're going to get clay. Now with the clay, we're going to be coiling it. So you want about the size of a golf ball. So you don't want it super big because it will be out of control. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of squeeze it between your fingers like this. And you're trying to make it kind of look like a little log. And then you are going to coil it. So when you coil, you're going to be making W's. So you're going to work from the middle and work your way outward. And it's going to get longer. And do it right on the table. We'll have to wash tables, and that's fine. But you're just going to kind of roll it consistently and work your way from the center and work your way outward. I am actually hitting these fingers right here. Some people don't roll it enough, and so they don't get a thin enough coil for their projects. They'll get like a big chunk that's really flat. So if you focus in one area, it might get really flat, and we don't want that. So make sure you get a full rotation when you are coiling. And you want it about the thickness of your finger. You don't want it super thick, but you don't want it super thin either because it'll break. So about the thickness of your little finger, and that should be good enough. Once you get it the length that you have, after everything's rolled out, you are going to slip and score it. We're going to make the bottom, and the bottom's going to be kind of like a snail. So you're going to get some slip on a toothbrush, and you are just going to slide it back and forth, kind of marking up the surface with that slip, making it kind of sticky. And then you are going to take the end, and you're going to fold it on top of each other and just kind of roll it. So you're making it like a snail. It's going to kind of spiral around like you're wrapping on there. Just like this. And you're just going to keep on going on there until you get to the end. So it's going to keep spiraling just like that. This is going to get placed in the bottom of your bowl. So this is the bottom of your project. And you can kind of smash it in there a little bit so it fits in there. So just kind of pat it. And that will also help adhere all the coils together. So you're just going to kind of tap it really gently. And this is where you're going to start with your next coil. So where it stops is where you're going to start. So I'm going to get another golf ball size of clay. And remember, you're just going to probably end up doing about 4 or 5 different coils for this project in order to get this full. So you're just going to keep on rolling. And I'm going to show you what it's going to look like in just a little bit. As I'm working, I am making sure that I really push firmly up against that side so everything's really stuck on there. Kind of push down so that way I have all my pieces of clay held together. Because if I don't and I have a hole in it, then I'm going to have ice cream all over my lap, and that's not going to be any fun. So a lot of times I'll hold it like this on the side, and you can kind of see where I'm pushing down and getting that all taken care of and pressing that. Now as I get to the top, you can see I can continue. I want to be careful about this lip. I really don't need this lip. I want to go more upward. So I'm going to do a coil that's going to go up on top of that. So again, I'm going to make it about the thickness of my finger. I'm coiling it really carefully, and I'm going to slip and score it so that it's ready to get put on. So there's my slip and score. So I'm just going to like that with my toothbrush. Start where I stopped. So there's where I stopped. So that's where my next coil is going to go. I kind of smear that on there, and then I'm going to rotate. And I'm going to make my bowl a little bit taller than this bowl that I'm using as a form. So I'm going to just keep on building up and around it. Still pushing down, making sure that I get what I need everywhere. So as it goes along, eventually you'll want your coil to kind of taper a little bit. So right now it's like stopping really suddenly, and we don't like that, or I don't like it. I think it needs to be a little bit more of a gradual switch in. So we're going to take our last coil. Let's say this is my last coil. And we are going to taper the end. So what's going to happen is this end right here is where I'm going to taper it. And I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit narrower. And it kind of comes to a point. So if you see how that looks right there. And then I'm going to slip and score some more. Get that whole thing slipped and scored. Just like that. Start where I stopped, which is right there. Making sure that I have really good adhesion. I can kind of rub it around a little bit. And then I'm just going to keep going around. And then when I'm ready to get to the end, which is right here, it's going to taper down and then it's just going to kind of become invisible. So I just got to smooth that all out. Put my fingers on there and push it. Make sure I have everything well stuck on there. Then we are going to let this dry. And what's going to happen is next art class, it will be dry enough so that we can put it in the kiln. I will actually pop these out and put the initials on them or your name on them. So if you have your name on the bottom of your project, then I can take care of that and get your name on it after it pops out. Let's not force it to come out of this. We don't want to rip the bowl. We don't want to damage our clay bowl, but we're going to make sure that we do a really good job with that. Okay, so that's how you do it.